pleased. It takes into consideration each of the girls and the trauma and the harm that he caused them.
A sentence handed down in the sex abuse case of Sweet Home's Gary Coomer. He's the man the Linn County Sheriff's Office was searching for after he didn't show up for his sentencing last month.
Now, Coomer was found guilty of rape and sodomy of his 2 young daughters. Today, nearly 3 weeks after his original sentencing was scheduled, Coomer was sentenced to 600 months in prison.
KVAL's Juliette Smith went to the Linn County Courthouse for today's sentencing.
Court is reconvened.
I'm not guilty of this stuff, Your Honor.
After a nearly week-long manhunt for Sweet Home resident Gary Coomer, he was finally sentenced for sexually abusing his 4- and 8-year-old daughters. We were in the courtroom to hear how the sentence was handed down. Coomer had missed his previous sentencing set on February 15th, and a subsequent warrant was issued for his arrest. The sheriff's office received a tip that he'd been found on Horseshoe Loop in Lebanon on the 22nd.
He's never shown remorse for his actions. He has only cowered and run from the consequences.
He appeared via video call from jail as his own defense muted him following his outburst.
Gary Coomer was the father of these 2 girls. He had a duty to protect them, keep them safe, and show them love, using his own children to satisfy his own sexual desires.
Still maintaining his innocence after the jury found him guilty of horrific crimes against his daughters: sex abuse, raping one daughter, and sodomizing another.
Well, the court understands the real issue today is whether or not counts 1 and 5 would be consecutive or concurrent.
Here we have 2 separate little girls. We have 2 separate violations against those children. What the state is requesting that the court do, urging the court to do, is to recognize these are separate victims who are subject to separate crimes, and they deserve separate justice.
Coomer's defense asked for a concurrent sentence. State recommended 600 months or 50 years per Jessica's law. And that's exactly what he got.
These are incredibly hard cases, and they're incredibly hard on the victims.
Coomer's family continues to adamantly deny these allegations.
He loved those babies. He loved them with all his heart.
His mother says DHS convinced her granddaughters to lie about her father, but could not provide us a motivation.
So you do not believe your granddaughters?
I don't believe they would have ever said anything like that on their own.
But the jury found him guilty. The deputy DAs say it wasn't complete justice because nothing could take back their father's horrific actions.
But it's as close to justice as we can get.
Coomer will remain in jail for the rest of his life. At the Linn County Courthouse, I'm Juliette Smith reporting.
Coomer's 600-month sentence does take into account the time he's already spent in jail. He is required to register as a sex offender and provide the state a DNA test. He's not required to pay any financial obligations. The deputy DAs say they do not yet know where Coomer will serve his sentence. He's expected to appeal the guilty verdict.